क्या बोलेंगे, शीला हूँ मैं. And then I only identify with, I'm Sheila, these are my children, this is my husband, this is the family I live, this is the city, those are all called identifications with. But self knowledge है तुम वास्तव में कौन हो. तो वो वास्तव में कौन है वो या तो हमको शास्त्रों से पता चलता है, या कोई गुरु बताता है, या somebody has to tell us, because हम लोग को खुद समझ में नहीं आता ये बात. Sometimes you can have that question, who am I, like Ramana Maharishi did. Then when you inquire, and in what he's talking about, you are that pure Atma. You are that Brahman. That is the self-knowledge. But खाली सुनने से वो experience नहीं होता मुझे. So when they talk about self-knowledge, they talk about when you actually become that and you experience that. So अभी ये क्लास में हम लोग को ये तो मालूम पड़ गया कि we are Brahman, right? But we don't have the experience. So वो गैप को हटाने के लिए वो सारा कर्म योगा वगैरह हम करते हैं, हमारा माइंड प्योरीफाई होता है, और तब जब हम मेडिटेशन में बैठते हैं या हम जब ये ज्ञान सुनते हैं तो वो हमारा एक्सपीरियंस बन जाता है. दैट्स व्हाट दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सेल्फ नॉलेज.
Thank you very much.
अच्छा, I have a question. Yeah, so basically ये कह रहे हैं कि I mean human beings are impatient and they want it very quickly. So, but the problem is कि लगता ये है कि हमको ये लगता है ना कि अगर हमें यहाँ से वहाँ पहुँचना है तो हम दौड़ के चले जाएंगे तो जल्दी पहुँच जाएंगे. अगर आपको कहा जाए चाहे आप दौड़ोगे चाहे धीरे चलोगे, ये आपके हाथ में नहीं है कि आप कब पहुँचोगे, तो थोड़ा डिस्करेजिंग इसलिए होता है बिकॉज यू नेवर नो. ओके, आपने कोशिश करी, आप पेशेंटली काम कर रहे थे, लाइफ खत्म हो गई. नाउ यू आर बोर्न अगेन एंड हु नोज व्हाट सर्कमस्टेंसेस. एंड देन अगेन अभी भी अगर इतना टाइम लगा हमको इस ट्रूथ को समझने में इस जन्म में, तो अगला जन्म फिर निकल रहा है, फालतू में टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है. आई थिंक दैट इज वन रीजन पीपल वांट टू हेसन इट. I think.
Okay, so I think remember when I did that one class when I said that Arjun represents, well, not most of you didn't come, but anyway, what I was saying that why did Krishna Bhagwan choose Arjun, because Arjun के जो प्रश्न है ना वो बिल्कुल हमारे ही प्रश्न है. So जो आप प्रश्न कर रहे हो ना अभी, वही प्रश्न अर्जुन ने चैप्टर 6 में किया कि भाई क्या होगा मेरा अगर मैं दूसरा जन्म होगा. भगवान ने बोला तुम बिल्कुल चिंता मत करो, अगर तुमने एक सिंसियर एफर्ट किया है तो वो अगले जन्म में तुम उसी स्थान से शुरू करोगे. सो अगला जन्म विल बी इन सच अ वे दैट यू आर ऑलरेडी हाफ वे और 3/4 वे देयर, एंड देन यू विल वेरी क्विकली गेट इट. सो दैट्स वाई वी शुड नॉट वरी अबाउट इट. अगर इस जन्म में मिल गया ग्रेट, बट अगर नहीं भी मिला, so nothing is wasted here, Meera ji. So we should wait 1 second.
It took so long. For example, I'm talking only about myself. इस जन्म में भी वो अकल भी आने में इतना टाइम लगता है.
सुनो
टाइम लग गया, ऑलमोस्ट लाइफ तो निकल गई ना.
आपको एक जन्म का सा लग रहा है ये आपको एक जन्म की चिंता हो रही है. आपको पता है आपके कितने जन्म हुए इसके पहले? Do you know about that?
सारी वेस्ट किए होंगे ना, तभी तो कुछ नहीं समझ में आया अभी तक.
नहीं मीरा जी, आपने बहुत अच्छे, आपके संचित कर्म बहुत अच्छे थे तभी आप इस क्लास में बैठी हैं. और ये जो जितना भी एफर्ट आप लगा रही है ना, दिस इज ऑल बीइंग काउंटेड.
What you are doing, Meera ji, is you are looking at half glass empty, and what Kamala ji is telling you that half is full, because अगर हमने ये ब्रह्मज्ञान सुना और हमको इसमें इंटरेस्ट आया, तो अकॉर्डिंग टू विवेक चूड़ामणि यू आर अ वेरी रेयर ह्यूमन बीइंग, बिकॉज देयर आर हजारों लाखों ऐसे लोग हैं जो बोलेंगे कि हम तो बिल्कुल बिलीव ही नहीं करते हैं, दिस इज द लाइफ, खाओ पियो मजा करो. व्हाट आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट गॉड? व्हाट इज गॉड? दे वांट, अदर्स हैव अ वेरी strange idea about God, somebody sitting over there in the sky and giving you orders and all that. अगर ब्रह्म ज्ञान में इंटरेस्ट आया है तो आप ऑलरेडी बहुत सारे पाप नष्ट हो चुके हैं. So instead of looking at oh my God, you should say my God. That's how I feel. I feel oh my God, I'm so lucky that I know now. I have a direction to go. अभी तक तो हम लोग भटक रहे. Forget about what has happened. It's something like my daughter-in-law gave a birth to a child. 9 months was very painful. एंड टुवर्ड्स द एंड तो वो बेचारी इतनी परेशान हो रही थी, बट अभी उसको मैं देखती हूँ तो शी इज ऑलवेज लुकिंग एट अ बेबी एंड स्माइलिंग. You forget that 9 months, you forget the labor pain when the baby has come, you know, because I'm witnessing this, in person. So whatever has happened, gone. Who cares, right? This janma, you heard this, and now you are on the right path, and nothing is going to be wasted now. We cannot worry about whatever happened, and even up to this point, अगर मरने के पहले भी हमने सुन लिया ना ब्रह्म ज्ञान, it is a huge thing. Now you're going to remember in your next life. Suppose if you don't get there. I wish that all of us, this is our last, So, but in case it's not, he will tell you, you will be born in a family which will help you to get there, a yogi family, or you will be family in a very samruddha family where you don't have to worry about, where my bread is coming tomorrow, and you will be able to apply it yourself on the Brahma Gyan. So in this path, there is no loss. So we should stop thinking about loss.
Can I say something here?
Yeah, sure.
I see your restlessness, that we already wasted so much time and we reached to this level only, and we don't have much time left. So that's why Brahmananda Yogananda says that everything else can wait, but your search for God cannot wait. So if you really want to expedite your process, then whatever you are learning in the class, you need to start putting in practice, because only practice will lead you to that goal. When we want to go somewhere and we want to go faster, then we try to find the alternatives. Okay, how can I go faster? And you find the best way. Okay, this is the best way. So this is what, through these chapters, through this knowledge, this Geeta is full of all kind of knowledge. So whatever you are acquiring, start practicing. That's the only thing which can expedite your process.
So one thing I want to tell about Bhagavad Gita and all that is this. That's why I always say we cannot copy each other, right? Because how Chinmayananji explains, okay, I want to go from one place to the other. Somebody might think that jet is the fastest way to go. Okay, but the guy may not have a jet. So we have to work with our own mind. So first find out what is the quality of your own mind. If somebody is more conducive to bhakti, maybe a boat or a car, it depends on the vehicle you got. Because, and that is another very, very important thing. So we cannot just pick up a path because, that's the fastest path. Am I conducive to that path? Because if you are conducive to your path, then only you will reach. So these are the things we have already learned, but I'm just reminding, that's what it is.
I have one comment.
Yes.
Actually, it's opposite to what all I'm hearing, especially Meeraji. You don't have to make an effort or think, you haven't done much and all that. Because when you are ready, it will come to you. And so you really don't, you should think about it. You do what you feel is easiest for you and let it come to you. And I'll tell you how I learned this. Manju's father-in-law, Sikri Saab, moved to a new house from Bombay to Delhi. And I went to visit him. And he had his book, he was setting up his book room. And all the books were lying on the floor with him. So I went to him and he gave me 3 books. He says, who am I? I am that, and Vivek Chudamani by Chinmayanand of Shankaracharya. And you read those 3 books, they are exactly connected. And I had no idea. But the idea is it came to me. And that's why, rather than, if I start to go and learn about how I should do, I will never be able to find it. So just let it be and let it come to you. So you'll be relaxed, no matter where you are. And you'll start liking, everybody doesn't come to Gita class, but then those who come, they're staying also, some of them left. So again, the process is not your effort, but it's coming to you because you are ready for it. That's the only comment I'll make. I feel it's making the effort is too complicated.
It's telling us that
Sorry,
we have
Geeta ji,
to
what?
do all those things in order to purify our mind, in order to be able to receive the gyan. So
I think what Joe is trying to say that when you start getting interested in it, then the path becomes easy because किसी को बोलना नहीं पड़ेगा फिर कि भाई ऐसा करो वैसा करो, वो खुद ही करने का मन करेगा, खुद ही करता है आदमी. तभी हम लोग बोल रहे थे कि सुबह उठना वगैरह एंड ऑल. समटाइम्स यू कैन इवन फोर्स व्हेन यू बिकम मोर सात्विक, तुम्हारी अपने आप ही नींद खुल जाती है 5 बजे, यू नो. सो इट्स वी हैव टू टेक एवरीथिंग together as a holistic thing. So whenever we are saying about these things, yeah, effort is necessary, but if you do the right thing and you start with the right thing, then things will start opening up automatically also. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, since I want to give a good time, at least half an hour, we can take this to our discussion time if there are other comments. So I'm going to close Bhagavad Gita here, so we can go to our Upanishad. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. I'm going to start with the prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. So verse 16 that we are halfway or like a part of it done, it is talking about Brahman is telling you that Om. When Nachiketa asked, what is that thing that remains, and then he also gave a very, open, good kind of explanation himself, the thing which is beyond cause and effect, all those things that we did, And then Yamraj said that this is Om, and then he's talking about that the word is also the highest. He who knows this word obtains verily whatever he desires. Means it is this Om is capable of giving you Saguna as well as Nirguna. Both. Whichever you desire, it will give you. So that's where we are. And the paragraph is starting from the Om symbol is not only an idol. That's where it's starting. Okay. Wow. My volunteer who wants to read, Shireen.
The Om symbol is not only an idol representing the absolute reality, but it also represents the relative reality. The worshipper or the meditator can meditate upon it as the supreme or as the relative. And through deep and long meditation, when the meditator comes to discover a personal identity with the very thing the symbol stands for, that is, when he realizes his identity with the symbol, he gains the realm of his identification. If the meditator has become one with the meditated, and if to him the symbol is a representation of the Apara Brahman, Hiryanga Garbha.
Okay, it is called, let me correct this. It's called Apara Brahma. One is Para Brahma, and Apara is the opposite of Para, and Hiranya Garbha. Whoever did the Mandukya knows this is like the total mind, Ishvara. But anyway, I can explain a little bit later.
Apara Brahman, Hiranya Garbha, or the total mind. He gains that state of existence available in Brahmalok. If, on the other hand, the symbol represents for the successful meditator the supreme reality, he comes to gain in stages a greater inner purification, a deeper power of concentration, and through long ponderings upon the nature of the self, he gains in the end an identity that I am Aham Asmi, meaning this I am.
So he's just telling you it can give you all the material things that you're looking for, and it can go up to Brahma Loka also. All the siddhis, everything you can get through this sadhana. Or if you want to directly go, about your own self to merge with it, that can happen too. Either one you can pick.
Obtains verily whatever he desires. In this statement, Lord Death is indicating truth now accepted as a verified fact, supported by observed happenings in life in the world of modern psychology. As you think, so you become, when the thinking comes to gain the necessary potency. In fact, we have only to wish or desire, and a desire or wish must come true.
So, now from after this, about many paragraphs, for a long time, Swamiji is going to really hammer on the thing that your thoughts have so much power that it can manifest anything in this universe, and why it does not happen. Because the reason he's saying that, because if this Upanishad is claiming that Om symbol mein, if you do it this correct sadhana, you can achieve what you want. तुमको मुक्ति चाहिए, तुमको मोक्ष चाहिए, वो मिल जाएगा. तुमको संसार में सिद्धि चाहिए, वो मिल जाएगी. ब्रह्मलोक तक भी मिल जाएगा. जो चाहिए वो मिलेगा, राइट? डिक्लेयर तो कर दिया लोग. ओह, इज दैट रियली ट्रू? ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता, मैं तो चाहता हूँ, मुझे मिलता नहीं है. तो देन ही इज टीचिंग यू that why you don't get what you're looking for. That's what he's going to talk about. But मेरे को एक बात याद आ गई. One time, we were sitting in some kind of satsang, and that Swami said that a lot of people come to me and say, Swamiji, young people especially, I have this dream, and please bless me that this dream should come true. कोई भी उसका होगा, जॉब का होगा, कुछ उसको नेम फेम चाहिए, I don't know, कुछ भी होगा. तो the Swami said, मैं उनको कहता हूँ, all these young people, if you have that dream, then you make that dream come out of every pore of your body. Sote, jagte means, like your life should just center around that dream and it will come true. So your dream will come true, and then what's going to happen, soon you will realize whatever came true was a dream. Because he's bringing full circle is complete. You achieve something that you want, and then you realize, oh my God, this was a dream. He's talking about that Mandukya Upanishad, that our waking world is also like a dream. So if you really want something, it should be Brahman. But I thought that he put it very nicely. So basic thing is, if I want something, this universe has the capability of giving me. But how should I conduct myself? That he's going to explain.
Maji.
Yeah, Meena ji has a question, yeah.
No, the question is not that much. Now, Om stands for both Nirvikalpa and Savikalpa. So, I understand when you say Om, in the three factors, you realize the waking and the dream and the deep sleep state and the quietness or the silence afterwards, right? And when you are focusing for the Savikalpa, you look at the symbol Om, and then you see all those aspects of it, right? I mean, you think of it, all those aspects residing in that symbol Om. And I want to know, when you're thinking of the Nirvikalpa, all the thought, those three are gone, isn't it? What is being focused upon? Because that symbol is again a symbol, and therefore is Savikalpa, because there is a symbol.
True, but in that symbol, they also, in that writing of that, also there are three tails, right? एक ऐसे U, अभी मेरे पास board नहीं है, so that's, you can consider one as a waking, one as a dream, and one as a deep sleep. And then there is a Chandra Bindu.
Yes.
So then that Bindu, it is separate from these three, remember?
Yes.
उसको touch नहीं करता है वो बिंदु, right?
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, the bindu doesn't touch it. See, it's a very scientifically done. So that bindu, in fact, one of them said it even more beautifully, that one bindu you can consider that as Brahman, and then there is a line underneath it is like a veil of Maya. It's obstructing.
Okay.
It's obstructing the, So that's one way. And the sound में जब हम जाएंगे ना, तो जब हम ओम बोलते हैं तो हम क्या करते हैं, हम लोग ऐसे पहले पद्मासन में बैठेंगे या सुखासन में बैठे, and then there is a silence. We silence ourselves, then we start the Om, And then he's telling you that when you're saying Om, it, you just think in your mind, is the waking state, and then it, merge into the deep sleep and all that through dream. Then again we become silent.
Yes.
That silent is the one that represents the Brahman in this symbol. So what it is talking about, that the whole world is emerging from that Om and dissolving in the Om.
So from the
Silence. I'm sorry. The silence is, Om is emerging from the silence and merging in the silence. So that merging in the Brahman. So just like the whole world rises from Brahman and then it dissolves in Brahman.
So from the unmanifested to the manifested back to the unmanifested state.
Yeah, you can say, and sometimes, this manifest and unmanifest also become a little technical. So then, and then it's saying, wo usse bhi pare hai,
True, because if the dream state, the causal state,
yes, so that
unmanifested.
So,
right, and the Om is above that, and therefore you're saying that.
Yeah.
So silent is not the unmanifested, silence is the
substratum is a better word.
Substratum, okay, from which everything arises.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the writing also has science in it. The sound has a science in it. That's why this symbol is like so powerful symbol.
Yes.
Everything has, vibrations has a sound.
I would like to add something here. In SRF, there is a technique called Om technique. And in that technique, you just close all senses. You close your ears, you close your eyes, and you listen to that sound. Your body produces that sound. That Om sound, you literally hear that sound in your body. And that's what, when you start hearing that sound, you're not imagining anything. You're going so deep. And that sound prevails in the universe also. So it's beyond that imagination or manifestation or whatever stage you call it. Just adding that little note there.
Okay.
I hope it made some sense.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Any other question or comments, or shall we move forward?
Maji, can you explain a little more about this relative reality? What are they saying?
So they are saying that ये जो दुनिया में हम देखते हैं वो relative reality है ना, it's not absolute reality. So when they use the term relative reality means manifested reality, cause effect वाली reality and all that kind of stuff. Because up to that point there is always that cause effect is there, but जो beyond है उसको absolute reality बोलते हैं. And even scientific term में ये जो Einstein world of time and space, you can call it. World of theory of relativity, you can say that too. It fits perfectly well. Means everything is relative here. I don't know if that helped. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move forward.
You may wonder whether the Swami has now gone slightly off his head, since it must be your experiences in life that almost none of your desires has ever come true. Friends, he has not yet gone mad, nor is the Shruti a mere textbook of mad ravings of a generation of lunatics. Since the Shruti cannot go wrong, this sadhu who's only trying to unfold the significances in these mantras cannot also be wrong. Again, just because there's Shruti declaration, fire is cold. We shall not handle fire carelessly or put a few glowing coal pieces tied in a kerchief on a head and eyes on a summer afternoon. If personal experience is seemingly against the Shruti word, certainly the Shruti text must be taken to mean and hint at some significance deeper than the obvious word meaning.
So I think that there may be a lot of criticism at that time that, what are they, because, I don't know, whoever was there when we did the Mandukya Upanishad, they had broken it down to U and Ma. And they said, जो की साधना करता है उसको ये संसार की सारी सिद्धियां मिल जाती हैं, फिर जो ऊ की करता है उसको, subtle world का सब power मिल जाता है, and all those things. So some people might say maybe they are making outlandish claims or something. So he's just telling you it's a scientific thing. But if a Shruti means all these Upanishads and our Vedas and all, if they are saying something, but your experience is something different, then you have to give some importance to you have to have Shraddha. It's coming down to that. Hey, if they are saying some deeper meaning is there, let's find out what it is. That's what he's saying.
Why is it then that none of our desires comes to be true? Let us analyze ourselves. We are under a delusory idea that thought is an idle, important happening merely within ourselves. In this misconception is the very seed of our samsarika limitation and sorrows. Thought has godly powers. As each thought sweeps across the mind, its secret potency rises up in front of us as an agent willing and ready to manifest that thought as a reality around us. This is something like the mysterious genie in Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp. Aladdin had merely to rub the lamp and out came the genie who saluted his master, a ready slave to execute any wish the master might express. And we know that nothing was impossible for the lamp's genie. 1,000-fold more powerful, magnanimous, and adorable is the genie of the mind that rises in us, a ready and willing slave to execute our thought commands.
So it is telling you the power of mind. It's telling you the power of thought. Because we might think, oh, तभी बोलते हैं ना कि thought में बहुत energy होती है. That's what they say. So he's just telling you that basically the whole paragraph is telling you that thought has a power, and we all have heard Aladdin ka chirag ka wali story. Ki just like the genie comes and says, what can I do for you, sir? Our thought is like that genie, but he's going to explain how. Go ahead.
And yet, friends, you are still asking the same old question with your eyes. But Swami, aren't you mad? You are talking just the opposite of what we are experiencing. Although the genie idea is, we admit, quite an entertaining idea of hope.
So he's saying, no, we don't have that experience. Then he's going to explain how.
Maybe we may yet discover the cause of our failures if we are actually failing. As we said before, the adorable spirit of thought, the genie of the mind, rises up in front of us, as it were, with each desire that whistles through our mental plane. With the ending of the thought, the genie, with faithful anxiety and sincerity, turns up his heels to self-hold to execute the order given by man's conscious mind. But alas, ere the spirit could take the first step to rush out on his errand, another thought wave of desire has risen up in the inner world, calling the genie back to take more orders. And at the command of the mind, it revolves round its heels, again to face its master.
So now you understood what he's saying, that one thought comes and मेरे को ये करना है और नहीं ये नहीं वो करो. So बोलते हैं कि वो हम लोग को consistency of thought ही नहीं है. और तभी देखा जाए तो what is meditation? Meditation is you start with, if you say the Patanjali yoga, we know the yam, niyam, asana and all, then you go to dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Dharana is, you're taken one thought of Bhagwan or consciousness or whatever it is, and then focusing on it, exclusive of others. So that's, I think kisi ka wo ho gaya. I can hear some, anyway, that's fine. So that's what he's talking about, that consistency of thought creates certain realities, and then what we don't do that. We have fragmented mind. Go ahead.
Sad indeed is the plight of this godly agent, the presiding deity of the human mind. This creature of all might and all power is made under our own confusing commands and contradictory orders to stand and whirl like a top, each half of the circle representing a definite command given and the other half showing a definite but vain attempt made by the spirit at its execution. But the desire power does not allow it any chance, at all to fulfill itself.
So now he's just telling you that it's like a top going round and round. It just doesn't move forward because एक बार एक command मिला फिर दूसरा मिला वो वहीं घूमता रह गया. And then we had talked about that book that Anil ji and Asha ji read, The Secret. उसमें सिर्फ यही बताया गया है कि if you want something and you put all your effort, it will materialize. And the modern language, they say this universe has all the ingredients to make whatever happen happen. Because जो भी होता है, जो कोई मटीरियल किसी को चाहिए, मटीरियल चीज़ें या स्पिरिचुअल चीज़ें, वो सब यहीं तो हैं, हम लोग को यहीं मिलती हैं. So everything is around us. It's just that we don't know how to make use of it because we don't have a concentrated mind. That's what he's talking about.
But here it is saying each half of the circle. What does he mean? You cut it in half?
No. It's like that the genie is supposed to go on a job, right? So it goes आगे, and then another thought comes, घूम के आ जाता है. And then again you go and again. So
it doesn't complete the circle and another.
No, not it doesn't go forward. It's going round and round. It's like a boat. अगर boat को तुम किसी रस्सी से बांध दो, तो
Caught in a whirlpool.
It will keep going round and round. Yeah, it will not cross. It will not go to the goal. Yeah.
And I have a question, because didn't we say earlier that we can put in as much effort as we want, but whether we get the result or not, it depends on our past karma and the karma of the people around us, the web of karma around us also.
No, here he's just focusing on the power of mind. You are right that we cannot take. That's why I always say that in Bhagavad Gita we cannot take things versus completely isolate, or even Upanishad we cannot do that. All he's telling you the power of mind in this. That and sometimes what you are saying, Geeta ji, that he has answered that question in one self-unfoldment. That okay, you have a prarabdha of something. See, certain things we cannot change, right? Like where we are born, who are our parents and all, those are totally. But certain things, with our effort, we can change it a little bit. And if we know, and that's what it is. So he gave this example, which is a very, very beautiful example. He says, suppose that you are in a boat in a river. And the river has a certain flow. So the boat is just going there because you're just letting it go. So that's a prarabdha, chal raha hai. But now you put a motor boat on it, and then you turn it around and you go against the current. So that motor that you put in the boat, that's your effort. So if you put tremendous effort in something, you can change its course a little bit, But over here he's just telling you about the power of mind, that we undermine our power of mind. So he just, in the essence, what he's telling you, if you want mukti, you can get it. बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में ढूंढने से भगवान भी मिल जाते हैं. Don't undermine the power of your mind. That's what he's just telling you. You have all the tools Bhagwan has given you.
So that's where the whole confusion starts, because I go back and forth with this, that Yogendra ji, when he says everything is decided, you just wait and see.
I think what you get confused is that they are talking about cause and effect, but then the Upanishad talk about there is a state which is beyond cause and effect, and when and that's what Nachiketa is asking also, कि तुम उसके पचड़े में नहीं पड़ो ना. Cause and effect, if you are at the lower level of sadhana, yes, cause and effect. He's saying that take this leap and then you get out of this cause and effect. So when we talk about destiny and when we talk about karma and all that, I'm not saying we should not learn about it, but you're talking about two different things. That's why you get confused. You cannot confuse that state which is beyond cause and effect.
So once you get out of that stage, then you use your willpower, you use the power of mind to hasten your journey.
It is kind of an illusion, that's true, that actually if you hear those Swami's talks and all, you will realize that that there is no such, it is like ahankar talking. When we are talking about That's the problem, that we are still in ahankar. So I have willpower, and where is the destiny? All that comes under only, it's a play of ahankar and prakriti. But they are talking about a state which is beyond.
One is ours, and we are talking about the power of mind here.
Here he's talking about true. He's talking about power of mind here.
See, one thing I am going to comment. Human being and your mind, total, probably is 1% of the overall scheme which is going on. So when you say hasten and all that, it is like a cheating raining on the earth.
Yeah, so
many dimensions there, so many previous lives, all this stuff is there, and we are just one little peck.
But in that one little peck, in that 1%, does our effort make any difference?
Yes, it does. In that 1%, it will be fine.
Effort is driven to you by the rest of the universe. In other words, when you get up every day, you have a new thought. Today I'm going to do this. That thought is not yours. It's coming from somewhere you don't know. So the idea is, once you get used to that let it happen, is very different. Then you won't be straining yourself that, oh, I haven't done much, or I have wasted so much life. And all that energy will be saved, and which will enhance your progress. I'm just telling in general that...
Yes, I know. I'm going back and forth between these two theories.
Okay, we'll take it up at the end. Let's take it up at the end, because we are stuck at this particular verse for last two times.
Okay, let's go.
And then what I was going to suggest, one more thing, that maybe what we can, since I don't want to undermine anybody's questions, so we can do a special session also if you want, Kamlaji, that you can bring your questions and we can do just like I did one Friday. We can definitely do that. So you let me know, and whoever is interested, we can hash it out over there.
No, the questions come when we are reading.
No, you can, but we have to be like reasonable. So what you can do is, you can write your questions down. You can do that much effort, and then we can bring it up, so that Okay, let's move forward.
A mind tossed by contending thoughts, or a mind plagued by an eruption of fox-like desires, is the mind that is weeping over its own impotency. If a single-pointed mind can wish for anything to the exclusion of any of her contending thoughts or desire, it shall at once be fulfilled.
Again, he's just telling you that with single-pointed mind, you can get the results. And I just want to caution everybody. He was talking about this. He's going to conclude it. There are a lot, when he was giving all these lectures, there were a lot of youth who were like depressed and dejected because they were not getting what they wanted, whatever. He's just addressing them, because when Chinmayananji, he wanted everybody to benefit from Upanishad, okay? So you may not particularly fit in this category, but then he is making a very interesting point, because we do deal with youth. We have our own children, we have people around us, and sometimes, they may not be talking about mukti and getting, self-realized, but they are facing some other problems, and some of this can resolve it if they understand how the mind works. So just look at it from that perspective.
Yoga, viewed in this sense, is a technique of controlling, conserving, preserving, and directing the mental dynamism through a chosen channel of application. One who is well versed in this technique and has, therefore, a complete control over his mind is a god upon earth whose wishes become, as they cross his mind, accomplished facts. It is because of our own mad thinking that we are exhausting in vain all our godly potencies within.
Actually, he's talking about a self-realized person's mind. And you have heard that. I have heard this, ki whatever they say, that is a shastra. And whatever they do, that becomes like the new trend. In a sense that they are like God upon the earth, because their mind is completely. And that's why, the word you have heard, tathastu. Aisa ho jaye. Ho jata hai. And because I'm watching Sai Baba, so I will just tell you an incident in there. Because Sai Baba is supposed to be, one with that consciousness also. Just like Krishna Bhagwan was. So one time, somebody started to make him badnaam, Sai Baba. So उसने क्या बोला कि एक पुड़िया में ना मिट्टी डाल दी. And then they gave it to this lady who was sick and all that, take this is a bhabhuti, this is a bhasma from Sai Baba, you take it and then, so उसको बदनाम करना चाहते थे, मिट्टी खाएगी और बीमार हो जाएगी, right? उसको दे दी पुड़िया और उनको पता चल गया, साई बाबा का, because एक त्रिकालदर्शी, so he knew, so he said, उन्होंने वो मिट्टी को भी भभूति में मीन्स उसने वो मिट्टी खाई और वो ठीक हो गई. So वो they have that power, that वो जो बोलते जो करते वो सत्य हो जाता है, because of this they have a mind under control complete and we don't. That's what his point is making.
If you start from your home to the office and on your way allow yourself to be a slave to your own indecisions and thus start walking forward as the thought of duty calls your office words, and backward when the thoughts of the joys of idle sleep pass through your mind, then even late at night you shall still be walking, having reached neither the office nor the home. The only way to reach the office is to maintain the desire to reach the office constantly in the mind and physically working up to it, ignoring and thus controlling all other dissimilar thought ways.
So you saw he gave such a beautiful example that you're trying to go to office and then you go, and no, my home is calling me. Then you come back, no, my office is calling me. You will be doing chakkar on the way only. Neither you will reach home nor you will reach office. So I think a very good example he gave. Yeah. Shattered mind ka.
So two is the accomplishment of our desires. And in fact, all of us shall find that to a large extent, what we are today is the product of our fulfillment of our own desires, which have gained and required maturity and potency in us.
So see, he's telling you what you are today is because you have done some kind of through your mind only you have reached where you are. Basically, he's telling you, all our accomplishments are because we have fulfilled certain things with the concentrated mind. And we know, nobody, at our age, nobody needs to tell us, if we want to get a job done, we got to concentrate on it. Then we finish the job. Simple.
If you are only a typist, you have only desired with sufficient potency to become only a successful typist. If you can desire yourself to become the president of this country with the required consistency of purpose and sincerity of devotion, and maintaining this idea can faithfully work up to it without any contradictory desires reaching your mind to dissipate the mental energies. The mind's journey shall carry you ultimately in a flying carpet, and in Delhi you shall sit in that august chair and perhaps regret its pinpricks.
So he's just telling you, तुमको president बनना है तो, and I think that it gave a new meaning to this story of genie, that your mind is like a genie. It can put you on the flying carpet if you have concentrated mind. It can take you to your goal. So
we have indulged in rather too long a discussion, but if thereby the pessimistic crowd of suicides who form the majority of a sad, desperate and degraded generation could regain for themselves a little more self-confidence and the awareness of their own potencies that lie uncultivated and unclaimed within, this sadhu feels that he will be justified in this necessary and deliberate digression.
Now you know why he indulged in it, because now you know exactly, because there are so many people who are so dejected. He's just telling you, like हम लोग बोलते हैं ना किसी बच्चे को, बेटा you can get all what you want, just do work for it. That's what he's trying to tell them. But the other context is that the Shruti is declaring that this Om symbol is so powerful that if you do the sadhana with it correctly, your desires will come fulfilled. If you want worldly things, you can get worldly things. If you want mukti, it can give you mukti. Coming back to the Om symbol.
Thus, if a meditator meditates upon Om with a desire to enjoy the subtler joys of Brahmalo, he gains that plane of consciousness. And if the meditator with single-pointed devotion meditates upon Om in a Nachiketa-like spirit of seeking the ultimate and the immortal, he shall certainly become that.
So basically, as your thought, so you become.
Yeah.
And he's given you a tool.
What's the difference between the two? The plane of consciousness versus the spirit of he shall certainly become that. What is
Okay,
the
that the
difference?
next verse is going to explain more. So what it is Geeta, that it is one is called Brahma Loka, the like jahan Brahmaji creator, Brahmaji as a creator. So you go like material things ka highest, and the other one is the Brahma Lok can be looked at as like the substratum, Brahman, becoming one with it, realizing that who you are. That's what he's talking about. And then we have seen in this same Upanishad earlier that that Nachiketa's father was doing the yagna, remember? But because he wanted Swargaloka. So he was not going for the mukti, but Nachiketa is going for that highest thing. That's why he keep asking, tell me the state which is beyond cause and effect. So he's just saying, and then the next verse will actually clarify it a lot. And because he's talking about how he's going to explain it, Chinmayananji explained it very well, that the goal of karma or worship and goal of jnana. Jnana means knowledge. Knowledge can give you mukti and karma can take you up to the highest loka. So that's how it is. So he's saying that this term can be used for both. And the way Tejomayananji explained is, it's a non-stop flight versus a hopping flight. There are different, and you can get down somewhere. But like some Hare Krishna people, okay? They say we